Pause. 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 Yeah. So after that pause, then what? Man, there's a lot of theories running around out there where we gotta shallow out the club on the downswing, and we gotta bring the elbow back to the side and let the arms fall into, let the elbow fall into the body and then try to go. As a matter of fact, what actually happens is the arm club unit falls down the swing plane and out toward the target. And that's why it's so important for you guys to be plugged into that target. So the pause gives you the time to, get your bearings so that you can reinitiate and engage that kinetic chain towards your target and not towards the ball or towards a swing position, even worse. Stick with us. We're going to give you the truth on this one. So if I'm a lumberjack cutting down a tree, and I get next to my tree here, notice how I'm behind the tree, and what happens is I'm going to deliver the weight of this axe to the side of the tree like a good seasoned lumberjack. The green lumberjack who's starting out on his first day is looking to impress people, and he's going to be whacking at the tree with a lot of effort. He'll be basically wasted before the time of the, okay, here we go. All right. So if I'm a lumberjack and I got a tree to cut down, I'm going to use the weight of the axe to deliver the blow to the side of the tree. If I'm a seasoned lumberjack, there's going to be a pause involved in there. Why? Because the last thing I want to do is fight with a 3.5-pound piece of equipment that's very sharp. So I'm going to use the weight of my axe. I'm going to heave it, let it float up, let it settle at the top of the backswing, and then let it fall through the tree. So it's going to look like this. Heave, fall through. Now notice as I let it fall through, if I go through the tree, there's going to be a nice release there. If I try to hang on to it and steer it, that's like a checked swing in baseball. That's a tremendous amount of effort with very little yield. So we want to feel like the axe is falling through the tree. That's the goal, not at the tree. So let's look at what happens with the golf swing now. So you can even do this like an axe. So I take my golf measurement, I pick up my axe, and I'm going to use the weight of my arm axe unit to deliver through the ball and toward the target. So here's what it's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? Look at how accurate that is. And did you see that beautiful pause at the top of the swing? And look at that, 185-yard carry with my 7-iron. I'm going to show you the same one over here. Come on over here. That's the Unicore unit, the new iMini that just came out. We've got our GC Hawk up here. We're going to do the same thing here with this GC Hawk. Grab my axe, heave the axe, let it release through. So, hey, how about that? So we've got 173 carry, because I hit that just a little bit thin. Now I'm going to do it in my golf swing. Feel the weight of my arms and club. Heave the axe unit up. There's going to be a nice pause here as it pauses itself. And then I'm going to let it fall past me and into the direction that I want that ball to go. There's that beautiful 180-yard carry 7-iron. Pretty special, isn't it? So one of the things that I like about this, you'll see the last shot I hit on this Unicore, watch impact. And look at how cool impact is here. I'm going to take that back. So here's the club coming down, catches the ball, keeps coming down to take the divot. See how it's dragging through the dirt? And that's dragging for a long period of time, isn't it? So what's really important about the backswing, and you'll notice when I use my axe, I'm heaving it back and it's levitating upwards. We have this amazing series on our premium channel right now called the 2 pendulum series. A human machine has 2 pendulums. First pendulum's right here between the 2 clavicles. That's what I use to chip and putt with. And then that second pendulum is my wrists. You notice how my wrists are rotating beautifully here with my hands and my forearms. So that pendulum is from the elbows down, basically, through those anatomical snuff boxes. So when I set my axe, my second pendulum's already activated. So I'm going to heave the arm axe unit up, and as it levitates up, both my hands come together, and then I'm going to let the weight of the arm axe unit fall through and towards the target. So for the arm axe unit to go that way, the brain's got to go to the ground, use the ground to get my body out of the way so that the arm axe unit can continue through that way. This is a self-preserving reflex action. You never have to think about weight shift, and you never have to think about clearing the hips. All you got to do is deliver something that way toward the real target, which makes that ball a very precise intersection. So if I were to say, use a tee here, so let's say that's my tree, and I'm going to take my axe, and I'm going to cut through the stem of that tree. Here we go. Heave. Notice how I separated the tee from its receptacle, and I'm cutting through it with the blade, with the sole of my club, with the leading edge of my club. So imagine the ball is a dandelion in disguise. The grass is holding the ball up into the air, and I'm basically going to cut through a stem that's got a multiple blades of grass. So my eyes are between the leading edge of the club and the ball, and I'm going to feel the weight of my arms and club cut through that stem into a very specific direction right there, that intermediate point. So I feel the weight of the arm axe unit, I heave it up, and my brain knows where to heave it because I'm getting ready for it to fall through the stem and over that intermediate point. I would never heave an axe this way. It's going to fall and take out an ankle. I would never heave the axe away from me this way. It's going to fall into my other ankle. Not very good. Going to be gimping around that lumber yard. So heave. Where do I heave to cut the stem in that direction? Well, that feels pretty good. And off it goes. And look at how pretty that is. That felt really nicely struck. There's 176 carry. And let's have a look at that impact. See how nice that is? Here it is. So coming down, there. So can you see how the sole of the club is cutting through the stem? So when the sole of the club cuts through the stem, the ball gets to meet the center of the club face. So that's the image that you're standing over. And when you allow the sole of the club to cut through the stem in a specific direction, so if you look at the path now that I'm using, see my path right here? So it's coming from the inside. And it is an absolutely lovely angle of attack. And you can see, look how pretty that is. Beautiful cut through the turf. Look how long the club stays along the surface of the ground. So, come on back over here. So you'll notice from this angle, you'll see the club staying a long period of time through the stem and along the ground. Through the stem and along the ground. So I'm going to heave the arm club unit up, heave away. Now when I heave it away, it naturally will levitate up the rib cage. If I swing my arm club unit towards you with one arm, I'm trying to send it your way, but this is attached. So everything's going to get yanked upwards into a circle. So when I take my arm club unit and I'm going to send it into my backswing in line with that, heave wide. So notice I'm at the end of my rope. Everything gets pulled up, and then it's going to fall back down and through and into that same direction. So all I have to do is heave wide and release wide. And look how pretty that is. Right edge of the green. Beautiful, 175 yards carry. So see how cool these two machines are? So this Unicore system, by the way, if you want to get one for yourself, they just came out with a Unicore i-mini. It does not have a battery pack or a screen that you can take out on the range, but if you're using it at home, it has all of the technology of the Foresight product. It is a video, a camera recording system that is super accurate, $2,700 US. Uneekor, wonderful company. We saw them at the golf show. We've tested the product intimately, both in Florida and in Mexico and here in our studio, and we are absolutely delighted with the results. So if you don't have the budget for a $20,000 piece of equipment like the GC Quad or the GC Hawk, $2,700 is an absolute bargain. And if you want the battery pack and the screen to go with it, then you get the iMini, and that's $4,500, a quarter of the price. How good is that? And on top of that, it has that beautiful imagery that you typically won't have with the GC Hawk or the GC Quad. So I highly recommend the product. And at checkout, if you want some free shipping and some excellent service from the company, put in the coupon code WISDOM, WISDOM, all in caps, and enjoy the product. So with that, we hope you enjoyed the show. We'll see you next time.